What's up, guys? Studfit here, joined by my good friend Antolev. Thank you, Antolev, for joining. We got the Bangkok tour. How you doing, man?
Doing all right. And yourself?
Doing fantastic. I really like city tours. I'm a little thrown off based on my own personal schedule, but I absolutely love this track. I love the Bangkok tour. I love all the cool stuff that they're giving us. Free gold pipes and coins, and even this crazy special pipe, which we'll get to here in a second. But first, want to send a huge thanks to all my members. In fact, we've had a lot of members join thanks to gift giving. So if you're watching right now, in the rundown, if anyone has any of the mods or myself have any gifts, you might even be getting a gifted membership for 1 month for free. It's a new feature with YouTube, and we've since our last rundown, we've added, I think, 23 members that may or may not continue staying on, but we're just so happy to have new faces in the server and have people throwing in all the cool emotes and whatnot. But just so thankful, especially for our super studs, which we got so many good ones here. You noticed Larry98 with a mod with a special circle around it. Larry's done so much work over the last probably month or so. Just a huge thanks to him. In addition to him, we have all these super studs that really kind of go above and beyond. One of which I want to make a special call out for, which is Nat. Nat was in very active in the game, got 100 top 100 number of times, and then kind of stepped away from the game. But he lives in Thailand. So I asked him, I said, hey, Nat, what do you think of the new track? What do you think of the new tour? Because I saw he was playing again a little bit. He said, I gotta say, although Nintendo did an excellent job incorporating Thai architecture and several landmarks into the Bangkok Rush, they're not very accurate with regards to the city's geography. For example, the Democracy Monument is not connected to the floating market. The famous Sleeping Buddha statue is in Bangkok, is actually indoors. The giant Ganesha statue is not in Bangkok, etc. I'm nitpicking here. The game clearly makes my city look more beautiful than it actually is. Haha. Overall, impressive design. Antolev, what do you think of the brand new track?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's really cool. I like it's something a little bit different. You know, we had all these European cities which are great, but they're all like quite similar to one another. You know, like it started feeling like a bit repetitive. So I really like these cities which have something which is completely different. So Bangkok is definitely one of those. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm still kind of learning how to master the lines and stuff because it's kind of tricky to drive. But I really like the music, and I really like it's very like lush and a lot of color and cool things going on.
Yeah, where do you stack rank it in the ranks of cities? I think for me, I have to put it in the top 5 very easily. I absolutely love the colors are very vibrant. I like that part of it, but the track is very dynamic. You have sections where you can go up and above. To me, it's got a little bit of the Shy Guy Bazaar type of feel to it, kind of going up above and things to. I will say there is the new piranha in the game, which is shooting that ink. Which I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the ink is like lasts a little longer than the blooper ink or something like that. It's a little annoying. My pull grinds it makes it a little more tough because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. But
is that a reference to something? Because it seems just really random.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I know we have the PD Piranha Mii suit coming up. Again, we don't know if there will be a PD Piranha character, but this tour...
That's not confirmed, by the way, right? That's just what we...
It's speculation. We do feel, it does look kind of like that, but Nintendo's trolled us many, many times before. It is not guaranteed to be PD Piranha. But the Mii suit does resemble... It could look like, from that side profile, PD Piranha. Now, I think everyone's like, oh, I'm saving my rubies to get the actual PD Piranha. I'm actually very skeptical. I do not think we will get the actual PD Piranha. And my logic is, hey, we get this Chain Chomp Mii suit, this tour, the Mii suit that no one's talking about, and we don't have a Chain Chomp. So why do you think that we'll get a PD Piranha? So I don't know. The thing is that that Piranha that's shooting into the street, it's actually not PD. It's just a different Piranha. I mean, PD actually has a very unique look to him versus the regular Piranha. So Yeah, I don't know if they might be alluding to something. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole PD story?
Well, the thing is, like, either the suits seem to be, with the exception of like the chef suit, which is just kind of random. The me suits tend to either be modeled after a character, or they tend to be modeled after an item in a game. So, like, you have got the blockhead, the question block, how we call him blockhead. There is no character driver that is a question block. I mean, there's a glider, but it is more like an item in the game. You see it, I think, in like RMX, Mario Circuit, a couple places, for example, and so that's an object. So Chain Chomp as well is an object in the game. I'm thinking, okay, it could be a PD Piranha, but it could also be, instead of being PD Piranha, then like just a piranha plant, you know, and just a piranha plant Misu's. That's it. So I mean, I think it is, you know, based on the shape and what people have seen, it is something to do with the piranha plant, but not necessarily PD. I don't know though. I'm happy to just wait and find out.
Yeah, you know what? The speculation is killing us just because there are those debates. But in reality, you know, we won't know. I just, you know, I'm always, you know, I don't know. People get a little carried away, and I just want to temper expectations that we may not have PD Piranha. If we get PD Piranha, that's great. But I don't think, man, everyone's like, I gotta save this, I gotta do that. I don't know. We have a Coinbox driver, and it's in this pipe, and so I think you have to go in for it if you possibly can. I think saving for a possible PD Piranha suit when you have a Coinbox driver right here. And again, PD Piranha, although you might like the character, probably will have Fire Flower, or maybe even some kind of like spraying thing that probably doesn't get you as many points as a Coinbox. So my thought process is, you know, if I think probably 80-90% of the community should go into this week 1 pipe and get this Coinboxer. Now, there's not great odds in this pipe necessarily, but there's pretty cool items. You know, we got this Tuk Karts, and we have this really cool umbrella looking thing. But I think ultimately you got to get the Coinbox driver. You know, I think the question of, is it must pull? It's borderline must pull. I think that a lot of people are scared with her overlap. She starts in the city, but guys, I think you have to go. I really think you have to get her, even if you don't need her right now. You don't need that overlap. You know, there's been plenty of drivers that have come out in the city tour, such as Kangaroo Yoshi or Volendam, that those city tracks that they started with did not hurt it that much. So with that being said, I think you have to get her, even if you just stash her. What are your thoughts on this week 1 pipe?
I mean, yeah, it's just a standard new driver pipe, and it happens to be Coinbox. So, you know, odds 6%. It's basically, do you have a type of account where you save up for and pull for new Coinbox drivers or not? Yeah, her start is not good. 4 cities and 5 of her 6 non-city tracks are Coinbox tracks, and the other one she overlaps, I think, with Kangaroo and a number of other political drivers. And it's an RT track, which is not so great for Coinbox.
Yeah, you want to get into that? I have a slide right here with
yeah, we can.
With these are just the Coinbox drivers. I'm not entirely sure what the Kangaroo Yoshi situation is, but these are the Coinbox drivers that she has. So she's the only Coinbox driver on Bangkok Rush and Coconut Mall, which I believe both of those have Pink Shy Guy Ninja.
Yes.
So if you've invested, like you and I have invested very highly into Pink Shy Guy Ninja, she may not be someone you need to level up right now. As for her other tracks, Bangkok Rush RT has Yoshi Egg Hunt. Sunset Wilds R has Kamek. Then we have, unlocking at level 3, we have the Sunset Wilds T with the Question Block Me Suit and Yoshi Egg. And then you have Cheap Cheap Island T, which has Gold Me Racing Suit, which often will probably be the trump based on the base points if you have it. And then Bangkok Rush T, you also have the Gold Me Racing Suit. And then you have Coconut Mall R with unlocked at level 6 along with that Bangkok Rush T. You have Yoshi Egg Hunt and the Question Block Me Racing Suit. And then at level 8, you have Calamari Desert 2 RT with Mario Tuxedo. So the good thing is that there's no track with 3 or more Coinbox drivers, and all these Coinbox drivers, except for maybe Tuxedo and Kamek, are newer drivers. So if you, just like myself, I haven't been able to level all these up. In fact, Yoshi Egg Hunt and the question mark me racing suit are both at a low level, level 1 and level 2. So I think from my perspective, Daisy might have a little bit more value in that way. You're gonna have to. I know that I'm gonna have to pull my trigger either on one of these 3 drivers, the question mark, Egg Hunt, Yoshi, or Daisy. And we'll get into the top 10. You'll see one of them's there, but ultimately it's a tough decision. What are your thoughts on Daisy Tie Dress, which I think we still probably need to nail down a nickname for her. I've been saying tie-dye. Now I know it's more like tie-day, but that's not as cool as tie-dye. What are your thoughts on a nickname, first of all?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is one of the weakest names for an ult in the game right now. I mean, they could have called it a sabai, which is supposedly what the dress is actually called, or even just called it chudai, which means like tie dress. It's like what it's apparently kind of called, costume, general costume. I don't know, you know, like we've been tossing around some different stuff. Daisy, Tizy, Daisy, Azy, you know, I mean, we're probably just gonna call her Daisy from here on out because she's the only relevant. She's gonna be the only relevant Daisy. You know, we've got Holidaisy and we've got Daisy. That's it. So I don't know. We haven't settled on a nickname for her yet. Yeah, as you say, her start. She starts with 10 tracks, which is the most you can start with. But 4 cities. She's got all 4 of the Bangkok variants, and so 6 non-cities. All of them, aside from Coconut Mall, already have Coinbox driver. The only thing is that I think Calamari Desert 2RT, that is a level 8 unlock from Mario Tuxedo. My main worry about her is she had a lot of overlap with other plus skill drivers. Like, for example, I think the most worrying one is Yoshi Kangaroo. He's on 3 of her 6 non-city tracks, so Chief Sugar Island P, Coconut Mall R, and Calamari Desert 2RT. So if you have him already at a high level, that cuts her starting value for you kind of in half. Yeah, at Coconut Mall, and it's a Coinbox exclusive for her. But there is Pink Ninja there as well, which I know a lot of people are using. There's Charging Chuck there as well, so that's okay, but it's not the best exclusive. It's not like a plus skill exclusive, which you see, you know, in some of the newer drivers. The one thing I want to say is this tour is not a really good tour to start yet. First of all, it's a city tour, so you know the new tracks or city tracks are not going to have a lot of value. And secondly, almost all the tracks in ACR this tour are like pretty old. We've got Coconut Mall, we've got Wario Shipyard, but everything else is like just about. I think the newest track before that is RMX Vanilla Lake, which is almost a year old already. So we've got a lot of really old tracks which are not that valuable to get. So like it's really difficult for the new items starting in this tour to have a good starting value unless they get a bunch of like Coconut Mall and Wario Shipyard coverage. So yeah, it's not a real good start for her. She's a medium. She's competing with some other good Coinbox and plus skill drivers. But yeah, I'm gonna take your approach, at least with my main account. I pulled for her. I'm gonna leave her sitting at level 1, and I'll see how she develops. You know, maybe after like 3 or 4 tours, we have an idea of where she's going.
How about your free-to-play account? Anything different?
I did do some pulls for her. I didn't get her. The problem with my free-to-play account is I have like a lot of drivers which I need to invest tickets in, and I don't have a lot of tickets because it's a free-to-play account. Like I just pulled for Fulladom. I need to invest in her. I've got the Blockhead. He's still at level 1. I've got Mario Samurai. He's still level 1. Not that I like need to invest in him or whatever, but I mean, you know, that's another one. I want to take Pinja to level 6 from level 4 because he got a really good level 6. I mean, like there's just a lot of investments I want to make. So adding another driver, which I want to have tickets to level up, is yeah. I mean, having the newest Coinbox driver is always going to help you out. It's always going to help you win ranked. You know, you're going to be able to ride that wave for a while. I'm doing it right now with Gold Yoshi, my free-to-play account. But yeah, I mean, there's always choices to make and investments to make, and you shouldn't just pull for new drivers just to have them if you're never going to use them. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. Would you say this is a must pull for 80%, 90%? I mean, who's not pulling on this pipe?
You know, I would say this is less of a must pull than any other new Coinbox driver we've had recently. I would think the last Coinbox driver I was this unenthusiastic about, in terms from like a star and coverage perspective, was Mario Tuxedo. Now, maybe in a couple tours I'll be putting my foot in my mouth, but it's just her starting coverage is just not that great. And we've had a lot of like good new skill drivers that she's going to be competing with in the coming tours. There's still a lot of really good plus skill drivers, a lot of Giant Banana, Coinbox, you know, Yoshi Gold Egg was less than 3 months ago, I think, or around 3 months ago. That's like a really short. We usually don't have Coinboxers release that close together. And she's going to be competing with a lot of these plus skill drivers, a lot of these Coinbox drivers for coverage. So she may not get exclusives. That being said, I think if you were like Gold Pass Plus or more, I think Dolphin and up, yeah, it's a must pull. It's a new Coinboxer. You don't want to risk that she just goes on a tear, gets a bunch of exclusives, and you don't have her. Because if you're competing at the top tiers, like say like 75 plus, at a certain point it may be the case that not having her will hurt you. You know, like for me, I have on my main account, which is a pretty beta win account, I still got some drivers. Yoshi Gold Egg, level 1, Luigi Vacation, level 1, Samurai I don't even have, Chuck I don't even have, and they're not hurting me, because I do have some new drivers which I invested in, like Pinja, Volendam, for example, Meowser. So we'll see. Maybe the game is changing. It's just getting too crowded in that you can't ever call a new driver like a must pull anymore. But we'll see.
Yeah, we don't see very many people go straight to max the first day. I mean, that was all last year. It just seems like, oh, new Coinbox driver.
Yeah.
Cool. You know, 1400 immediately first day, and that's not really possible, not feasible.
No, we're getting saturated, and also with level 8, because you know, if you wanna, you know, if you want to take advantage, that's a lot of tickets, you know.
Yeah, most of my level tickets have gone towards taking things to level 8, just Coinbox drivers to level 8. I haven't really been too focused too much on level 8 except for the Coinbox drivers. So I think I'm up to like 6 or 7 of them. So for me, like that's where my tickets have gone. So I'm like you. I have Gold Yoshi Egg Hunt, Voldem's at 4, but that's just because I pulled her a bunch of times. And I did throw like 1 ticket just because she was at 3.5. But other than that, I mean, I have, you know, like just like you, Samurai 1 and these couple of these Coinbox drivers, including Gold Yoshi and the Question Block at level 1 or level 2, and it's tough, man. It's I'm having to pick, and it's a brutal decision. I'm sure we'll probably be talking about it on Kart Talk because this is a big deal. Let's get to some of these other items. There are some interesting ones that came out. Again, kind of the two that were tie related, the Tuk Tuk Kart and the red and gold umbrella. Beautiful items for sure. And they have the tropical truck that comes out next week, and the gold zucchini. Actually, I guess you could get the tropical truck in your week 1 pipe if you got it for non-spotlight, but it's an absolutely beautiful cart. I'm very upset it's in the week 2 pipe because I don't know if I'm going to be going into it. But what do you think about? What are your thoughts on all these new items?
Tuk Tuk Kart is it's small. It's only starting with 5 non-city tracks, so that's not really that good, and it has a lot of overlap with like other good carts. So out of its 5 non-city tracks, it overlaps twice with Yellow Offroader, twice with Tanuki Kart, twice with Roaring Racer, twice with Combo Cruiser. Those are 4 pretty relevant carts. I mean, it has more overlap with other things, but those are the most, you know. And it's a small hitbox, so I mean, out of the carts in this, out of the items in this tour, it's the one I probably like the least. It looks really cool. I did pull it on my free play account when I was going for Daisy, so I will end up using it, but it's small. The tropical truck, on the other hand, I really like the look of it. It seems a little bit. It's got the same, I think, wheelbase as the Tanuki Kart. And if you look at the circumstances, week 2, only a new item in week 2 100 pipe. It looks like it's gonna be something special. It reminds me of Rumby Runner, Silver King, those kind of items where you had a Coinbox or great skill driver in the week 1 pipe, and then, you know, only interesting thing in the week 2 pipe was that 1 cart. So I think it could turn out something like that, and it actually has a really good start. Everything else not considered. It's a city tour. It starts with 9 tracks, only 1 city. So 8 non-cities, and half of those non-cities, 4 tracks are 2022 tracks, which is really good compared to everything else that's coming out. It's got 2 Coconut Mall variants and 2 Wario Shipyard variants. And then it's also got Calamari Desert 2 RT, which is also a relatively new track. So actually, out of all the items in this tour, it has the strongest start, and that would be my pick for the most valuable cart coming out of this. The Gold Zucchini, you know, I mean, we have to be skeptical about gold carts in general. They're basically a massive meme. The only one that is kind of decent is the Gold Egg, but that's really small. You know, it's in this weird pipe with 10 high ends. I think it's kind of a bait pipe. I know you think kind of differently. For my main, I just pulled singles until I got it, and I got it after 4 singles. Okay, so for 20 rupees, yeah, I'll stash it. Whatever, it's not a big deal. But yeah, the start is obviously not as strong. Zucchini has got like a surprisingly big hitbox. I'm using it right now, the regular Zucchini on Cheap R. Yep. It's pretty big. But it's got all 3 vanilla legs, RMX vanilla legs, which is interesting. One of them is a level 6 unlock, and one of them is level 8 unlock, but still, that makes me wonder if they want to make it an ice themed cart. And then its other tracks are all like pretty old, except for Calamari Desert 2 RT. So yeah, it's got 3 overlaps with Tanuki Cart, 3 overlaps with Silver King, and 3 overlaps with Frosty Bells. So two of those are pretty popular cards. So if you got either of those at a high level, maybe that's interesting. For me, that's the reason it's not interesting. And then finally, we have the new glider. That's the red and gold umbrella. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Really nice looking. One of the I like the umbrellas themes in general. It's starting with 6 non-city tracks. It has all 3 Coconut Malls. That being said, Coconut Mall T is a level 8 unlock. Coconut Mall R is a level 6 unlock. And other than that, it's got 2 Sunset Wilds and Tropical Island 1R. So 3 newer tracks and 3 older tracks. It doesn't have a lot of overlap with any specific items. Out of its 6 tracks, it has only 3 overlaps with 1 item, the Calico Parafoil. Beyond that, 2 overlaps with something notable: Sunset Balloons, Mario's Mustache, Gold Crane, and Dry Bowser Umbrella, along with a bunch of other less meta items. I don't know how to feel about that one. It's kind of middle of the road, and that's definitely a wait and see type of approach. See how it develops.
Very cool, man. No, I appreciate that insight. Yeah, there's no doubt about this tropical truck. It is going to be really good. I mean, just from looking at it, it looks sick. It looks awesome.
It looks so cool, yeah.
But I don't know if we have the hitbox from Rashid or anything like that.
Yeah, it matches with the Tanuki card. So it's wide, but it's short. That's my favorite type of card as well. Yeah, it's not going to be a giant card like an off-road or a Banana Master card, but it's going to be, you know, a nice large card.
Good. I will say that that gold zucchini, just the feel of the zucchini, I really like those like low to the ground types of carts. So love the way it handles. It's very cool. Let's talk about that pipe though. The special 10 pipe, 10 carts and gliders in the spotlight. No resetting. We do have a little difference of opinion. I think 5 rubies in exchange for any high end. It's guaranteed to have a high end in return. I think it's a must. I think it's a must pull. Now, I don't have a free to play account, but I feel like if I thinking back to my days of having my Gold Pass only account, I still would pull on this pipe just because getting some of these levels leveled up and or getting access to some of these tracks. There's older coverage here. There's no doubt about that, but man, I just think that all these items are worth the 5 rubies in exchange for it. But I think you have a difference of opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of terrible items in here. Basically, all of the carts are bad. The gold snow scammer is kind of a little bit okay. And all of the gliders are like mediocre to bad. Gold Super used to be great back in the day, but it's fallen off. Silver and Gold Hearts is probably the best glider in there right now. I mean, Gold Glider, again, it's pretty old. And then the 2 Gold Pass gliders are both pretty terrible. Here's my thing. As from a free-to-play perspective, like, I could go in here and pull all of these items. I actually have most of them, the ones that aren't like Gold Pass gifts. But having a lot of like my free to play account is now around 15 months old, and none of them give me any coverage. And like my biggest scarcity of resources right now is tickets. Like I'm never going to use any tickets on these, and my account is at a level where like a level 4 plus single uncapped or double uncapped mid shelf is gonna not be, it's gonna be like less than a couple hundred points over having a level 1 top shelf. So in that sense, like yes, 5 rubies for any high end, maybe it's good, but I'm actually saying, like, you know, if you really want to save your rubies and stuff, think about what these actually add to your account. Will you ever use any of these? If the answer is yes, then yeah, absolutely go for it, especially because you're getting a new card, which, you know, maybe in some paywall tracks coming up may save you in ranked. But I mean, having a top shelf card is not the same as having a top shelf drive or a glider. It doesn't add a lot unless you be able to get some levels to it. And if you are like me and you're really always scraping for tickets, having a whole bunch of like level 1 items lying around your account doesn't really add anything. So in that sense, yes, okay, it's 10 INs for 45 rubies, sure, but think about how much you actually, really think critically about how much you actually would use each of these items. You know, look at their coverage. Is there a track where they would give you coverage? If that's the answer, if the answer is yes, yeah, then go for it. But like for me, I'm looking around my account, it's like, yeah, none of these really add anything for me, so I'm not going to pull on it.
Okay, there you go. I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that, but I've heard both sides of the coin. I don't think anyone's. I think that. I think it's good to keep an open mind, but yeah, I would highly recommend just checking out Bam and Gerbs and see if it makes sense for you. I think the value is just too strong, and that's
I think really a decent strategy for this pipe is pull singles till you get the zucchini. I mean, you've got like a 90% chance you at least only spend as much as 10 bull, and you got an 80% chance that you get the spotlight card or the new card in less. You know, that's like on my main, I got it in 4 pulls. That's solid, you know.
Yeah.
So if you feel like doing a little gamble, which without really high odds, you know, try singles.
Yeah, 20 rubies in exchange for for those gold items is awesome. We also do have some data mining information. There was an update info banner found. Could be released at any point in time in the future. They've done this before. If you think about, like, say, the Amsterdam sticker that they had, or other things in the game that they hold on to. But if they do release this tour, which I think when we found banners before, they've typically been in the tours that they were found in. So there's probably a good chance that it'll be released this tour. If so, we might expect that week 2, so either next Wednesday or Thursday, we might see this banner. I think the big speculation is battle mode. What's your thoughts on this update info banner?
I didn't look into it that much, but I mean, it seems like everything's pointing to battle mode being added to the game, indeed.
I mean, I'm just looking at Toad holding that green shell. Looks like he's ready to do some damage. Looks like he's ready to battle. I know that's a pretty stupid reason, but like, I don't know. There's just something about it. Like,
that's the first thing I thought of as well. It's like, oh, that's battle mode. Of course it is.
We'll see what happens. Week 2, get excited. I don't know what again, you know, could I know they've done some updates, further updates to phone usage and specifically how old they are and outdated. So I think whatever it is going to help us. You know, hopefully, you know, there's not the same type of lag that we see in multiplayer. The lag still, to this day, still kills me in multiplayer. But it is what it is. We'll see if we can get battle mode. That'll be fun. It might be a new twist to the game. We might have to rethink, you know, hitboxes and all these other things going on. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. All right, let's get into the non-spotlight drivers, carts, and gliders. Nothing new there. So let's jump into the week 2 pipe. For Bangkok Pipe 2, we have our 2 vacation sunglass boys. We got Mario Sunshine and Luigi Vacation, aka Bernie. We got the sneaker and the banana wingtip, 2 lower than useful items, coming out with Mario Sunshine. But then Luigi Vacation, obviously this tropical truck that we absolutely love. Butterfly Prism, not bad with the Red Shell Plus. But we'll have 6 spotlights in addition, 3 additional to make up 9% odds. What are your thoughts on this week 2 pipe?
I I don't love it, to be honest. Like, look, okay, I think Tropical Truck is going to be maybe, you know, one of the top 5 carts of the year. I'm just putting it out there, but you really have to be a whale to go into 100 pipe just for a cart. I think there's 2 reasons you pull this pipe. You are predicting, like me, that Tropical Truck is going to be a great cart, or you really are prioritizing the beach vacation, you know. And you didn't get him the first time around, and he is an excellent driver. He's definitely worth pulling for. But the pipe as a whole, there's a lot of trash in it. The gliders are both terrible. Sneaker is a newer item, but it just it never took off. It just never really got the value. Doesn't have that many tracks and has quite some cities. And then Mario Sunshine, we all know about him. He's the only giant banana high end for a long time. He got a lot of cities and didn't get a ton of relevant non-city coverage. And he's very old now, so cool Mario Arl, and he's got a good item, but just not that valuable. So overall, I think for me, this was mostly a pass, with the exception of if you really need a beach vacation for your account, or you really want to gamble on the Tropical Truck.
It's a game. I think it's a gamble across the board for me. I'm not going to be pulling on it. One of my decisions this year was I'm not going to pull on week 2 pipes for those carts, because we've seen it many times. I'm thinking like White Snow Skimmer and like other things. Some of these cat cruisers, we're just like, I'm having to realize I can't pull on every pipe, and these are the type of pipes that I have to pass on. I love that cart. The cart would be awesome, be a really cool flex for sure. But guys, man, I just with rubies all really going to this. Like I've already decided I'm going to be pulling on this week 1 pipe just to get her tie-dye leveled up to level 2 and get some of these other items, because I just don't like this pipe. Just not, other than this one truck, it's just not worth it for me. Let's talk about the other option, the third option, which that also might be the priority.
Let's not. We could just skip this.
Let's just skip this, guys. But I do want your prediction. My prediction is 2-2, so 2 drivers, 2 carts. And
I know, this has to be like a 16% pipe or something to make up for the lack of value. This is just so bad. I'll guess 3 and 3. I'll guess 12% pipe. Wow. I think any less than that is I mean, even 3 and 3, it's really you have to be a big Daisy stan to go into this pipe, and I like Daisy. I think she's my favorite out of all the princesses. But I mean, this is really bad. There's not one item in here that I would say is worth pulling for.
Yeah, they're saying including Daisy Farmer, like that's going to be like the tipping point that's going to get people hyped about this. I don't.
She's pretty new, and I mean, I guess, but I mean, yeah, she's got hammers, man.
It's weird that they came out with they brought back Volendam, and they brought back her very quickly after being released. Yeah. Just what was it, like a couple months ago? That's really rare. That's a new thing this year.
It is a new thing, and that's why I was so advocating for to pull on the week 2 pipe last tour, because getting Volendam when she's really peaking in her window of being in ranked and getting buffs on new tracks all the time, is you don't get an opportunity for that. It would be the same thing with Daisy Farmer, but she doesn't have a good skill and she doesn't have the same quality of coverage. So unfortunately, it's I'd say this is and she's not a spotlight. So I mean, I don't know. This is an easy pass.
Yep.
A whole bunch of terrible items. I mean, Holidaisy is kind of decent, I guess, but I mean, it's just Nintendo's fault for not giving Daisy any good ults, up until now, anyways.
Yeah, no, her ult this tour is phenomenal, and that was the only reason I thought she was gonna have Coinbox. Wasn't because the timing was right, wasn't because of anything we saw in the video. We knew that Daisy will have an ult. We know that certain players in the game will have an ult. We know Luigi one day will have an ult with Coinbox. Yeah. So literally the next Luigi that we see, my guess is he'll probably have Coinbox, just because we've seen every other skill, and that's fine. I'm glad that they paced it out. But guys, I think for this pipe, I think even if Daisy was a spotlight, Daisy Farmer, yeah, this is an easy pass. Now I do know our friend Draco655 is gonna be pulling on it. He loves Daisy. He's part of the Mushroom Legacy, etc. But guys, I mean, unless you absolutely love Daisy, please stay away from this. You will thank me later. I promise you. As for the packs for week 1 and week 2, we got some interesting ones. We got Builder Mario, which I put Desperado on there. He's not a great driver, but if you're desperate, if you absolutely need some coverage and you're needing some rubies, I don't know why one would necessarily be purchasing a pack in order to help them with coverage. I think you'd be better off just trying to do whatever you possibly can to pull for this new Daisy alt, but he's there if you need him. And then I think that overall these packs are below average, but we've had a couple tours with some below average packs. So I'm trying to be positive, trying to be gracious here. I think the Captain Toad and the Yellow Off-Roader, this one you could do worse. I think this is probably the one I like the most, just because it comes with the Yellow Off-Roader. If you don't have that at level 8, it's a strong one there. Captain Toad's probably not going to do much for your account. That Yellow Off-Roader, still really good value, and to be able to get that, really, unless you have it at level 8 already, it's probably going to be your best pack just because of that one reason. And then for the third pack this tour, such a great glider, but I'm not sure how I like this gold glider in this 90 ruby pack. Again, I think one of the things I've decided to do is because here's the thing, is like I for a long time I would just get every pack, and that's just kind of what I did. And then they kind of snuck this in, and then now it's kind of been like a permanent thing, and I've just been getting it. And then I think from a financial perspective, I just it's just an additional $100 whatever more per month, and I'm just like, I don't need this item. But then last tour I was having to pick between like a really crappy pack or the polka dot manta glider, which I didn't even want. But there's situations where you might decide to get this pack because maybe you like the golden wings here more than Shy Guy Ninja and the golden crane. So maybe you have to kind of decide, I'd rather have this one item than these two less than not great items. But I think overall it's a great glider, not necessarily worth the value, but I've just budgeted myself that I'm getting X amount of packs or X amount, and unfortunately one has to be left out, and it'll probably be that one this tour. And then for week 2, we got this collector's edition, this Inferno Flyer. I do not have this card. I'm pretty excited about getting it next week, but I don't think it really would do too much for my account. I'm just looking forward to having, because it does look really cool. Again, I'm not sure it's never really broken in any of the meta. It's an okay hitbox. I think it's like that medium size, but it does look really cool. And then last but not least, the process of elimination, just so that we'd have a little bit equal balance when it comes to studs versus studs. I think that this Shy Guy Ninja Gold, Shy Guy Gold, and this Gold Crane, this is acceptable. I like the Gold Crane. The Gold Crane's a really good glider for my account, but it's been around so long. I think you can just wait for a gold pipe and get it there if you absolutely need it. And the Shy Guy Gold's probably not going to do much for your account. But those are my thoughts on the week 1 and week 2 packs. What do you think? What are your thoughts here, Antilev?
Yeah, I don't really like this trend of what they're doing a lot recently, which is putting like a really good item together with a really bad item in a 90 ruby pack, and like trying to trick you into thinking you're getting like 2 high ends for like a €40 pack or whatever. When if I look at this Explorer Toad, Captain Toad, whatever he is, and Yellow Off-Roader pack, I'm basically just looking at it as like, okay, this is a Yellow Off-Roader in a 90 ruby pack, just like that Golden Wings pack is a good item in a 90 ruby pack. I'm not enthusiastic about any of these packs. I mean, like, maybe I'll buy the Gold Crane one if I'm running out of rubies going for the tropical truck in week 2. Gold Shy Guy #GSG. He's actually pops up in ranked every couple of months, where he's one of the very few options. He saved me a bunch of times. I've got him at a relatively high level, I think level 6 or something, because he was in a lot of those gold pipes that we all pulled on back in the day. you know, I think I'm using him next week in rank actually.
Yeah, I think I'm too.
So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That's probably the best value on the whole. But I'm not enthusiastic about any of these packs. I think you can easily pass all of them. Yeah, Golden Wings is the best glider in the game, but it's just, I mean, they're charging you €40 for one, $40 for one item. It's not good. Week 2 tier shop. I'm happy to get another Dry Bowser Umbrella dupe. I want to get that one to level 8. I just don't want to spend tickets on it though. So happy to get a dupe there. And the premium challenge is, I mean, it's you know, if it was a year ago, it'd be awesome, but it's not. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. All right, let's move forward into the buffs. And again, huge shout out to Larry98, who's helped us put together these the aesthetic thumbnail baseball card looking buffs. So what's interesting is that we have one driver with 6 buffs. Usually we don't get that. This is a lot of buffs, but Rosalina has a lot of ground to make up. So she gets Rosalina Ice World T, Cheap Island R, Wee Coconut Mall, Bangkok Rush RT, so only one city track to go with her other, what is it, 8 that she has. She got Choco Island 1R, the SNES one, and then Coconut Mall R. And then with, there's also one driver with 4 buffs, which is Cat Luigi, and then one driver with 3 buffs, which is the other cat that's newer, Cat Mario. So they both get one city track and a couple other buffs of, you know, some good items, but they both get Coconut Mall, and then they get some old buffs as well. This Luigi's Mansion and Luigi's Mansion R for Luigi, of course, and then Mario getting Mario Circuit 2RT along with his Coconut Mall. So those are the drivers with the most buffs, but then we got a number with 2 buffs, including the Gold Me Racing Suit. He gets 2 city tracks. He gets the Bangkok Rush R and the T version. Which again, you know, that's one of which is in, actually 2 of them are, I believe, in ranked. So although he gets 2 cities, having him as ranked options is phenomenal. Got the Bronze Me Racing Suit, getting this Luigi's Mansion R and T. As you can see, he's already in our top 10. Kudos to him. As we round out the other drivers who are getting buffed, Berta White, Dr. Bowser, Dr. Peach, Peach Yukata, Wario Me Racing Suit, Dr. Mario, and Pastry Chef Me Racing Suit. I think for me, the 2 most notable ones on the bottom are the Gold and Bronze Me Racing Suit. Everything else, it doesn't really, they're not really on our radar necessarily for the meta. So it's not necessarily anything to write home about. But what are your thoughts on these items that got more than 1 buff?
So I think the first thing we obviously have to talk about is Chef Rosalina. What we said last tour is if she has any chance of overcoming her like crippling start, she needs to have a lot of buffs and a lot of buffs quickly. And they gave it to her this tour. She got 5 non-city tracks and 6 in total, and she got 2 Coconut Malls, which is very good. She got N and R. I think T is still non-Coinbox track. She got Cheap Island R, which is not quite an exclusive, but it's almost an exclusive. She shares it with Blockhead, so if you don't have him level or you're not investing in these, then it's almost like an exclusive for her. And she got Rose's Ice World T. That's actually a really nice one for Giant Banana, because it's a pretty easy 200, and you know, with Giant Banana, like scoring wise, you're gonna even beat probably a Coinbox there. You know, finally she got old Choco Island, which is that interesting. But I mean, it's promising that maybe she'll break the mold of what happened to the B-Dasher Mark IIs last year. Let's have buffs like this the next 2 tours. I would say if she's at like 12, 13 non-cities after the next 2 tours, maybe we can start thinking about her as having a chance to be in the top of the meta. I'm still going to take a wait and see approach on her, but it's a very promising start. Yeah, other than that, the Gold Me, I keep looking, he's still at level 1 for me. I keep looking for reasons to invest in him, and they're just not giving me any. It's 2 cities, which is great for this week. So all 4 Bangkok tracks are in ranked this week and next week. So the kind of funny thing here is that either you get some long-term value value or you're in ranked, whether you get a city buff or not a city buff. But for me, I'm looking at the long-term value with Gold Me, and he's just not getting it for me. Yeah, other than that, on this page, I thought only the Bronze Me, he jumped up big in the rankings, and that's because he got 2 buffs on Luigi's Mansion tracks. Luigi Mansion R and Luigi Mansion T. They're both really nice tracks for boomboxing. A lot of coins in the track and a lot of obstacles and things. They're really fun for boombox. Yeah, other than that, yeah, nothing on this page really. One interesting thing is all of the doctors except for Dr. Luigi got 2 buffs, 1 city and 1 non-city. Dr. Luigi did get a city, but they all had the same kind of pattern. But yeah, that's it on this page.
Interesting. Yeah, you know, I heard Sammy kind of mention that about the Gold Me racing suit not having enough value to pull the trigger on. And I think this tour, you know, getting these 2 city buffs, I could see that long-term value holding you back. But I mean, I took him as soon as I got him, and man, he's been in ranked almost every tour, and he's been absolutely crushing it. And then of course having the base points there on top of it, I think it's going to be really tempting to. It's going to be really tough though, of course, because you have this new Daisy alt. But man, to be honest with you, I'm leaning on like pulling the trigger on the question mark block suit, just because I've had this Gold Me racing suit and the base points make a huge difference. It really does.
I'm sure.
So I don't know. I think the people that haven't pulled a trigger on him, like maybe even yourself, have been fighting it. But I'll tell you what, it's well worth it for what it's worth. So if you have to for ranked, you know, take that with a grain of salt. We have a lot of drivers with 1 buff. The most notable being the Yoshi Gold Egg, getting this Bangkok Rush RT, the rank track there. He's number 4 on our list, so he moves up quite a lot. You got the Luigi Vacation, getting the Bangkok Rush T, but he's got 9 cities and 19 assumed tracks, which is pretty good. Absolutely, he's been having a really good year, that's for sure. The Silver Me racing suit, he gets the Bangkok Rush, which again, lucky 7 compared to some of the Coinbox options with the new Daisy. It's not bad. It's not a bad one, but I just haven't seen anyone really go that heavy into him. But he's, I mean, same base point conversation. He could be really good for you if you need to. But yeah, he's got 3 cities. This one adds that 3rd. And then you got Rosalita Volendam getting this Luigi's Mansion T, which we mentioned earlier before. It's a track that I think I'm using Pink Gold Peach. I've been using her for the last, 3 years. It's certainly a good track for Boomerang though. It's a really good point, and I think like whether you're using Giant Banana or Boomerang, like, you know, these are tracks that are easy to 200. So again, you know, get your Boomerang coin and move on. You got Mario Samurai, so he gets this Calamari Desert 2 RT that we talked about Tuxedo Mario having. Mario Samurai just again kind of getting another buff that does have a Coinbox driver. Again, you know, it's not a deep bench of Coinbox drivers or plus skills, but I think overall that's he's slowly moving up. He's just outside our top 15. And then Pink Shy Guy Ninja, which I absolutely love him on this track. What's cool about the Bangkok Rush is, you know, you can go up above and ride those in the market. But if you position the cart well enough, you can actually drop these bananas like down into it and onto the other side. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Giant Banana on this track. It's a really fun track to have Giant Banana on. You got Mario Aviator, number 24 on our list. He's 4 cities, 20 assumed, which is actually not bad for how new he is. A number of other items, but I kind of always want to highlight this the top tier, just because these are shown in order of how they rank in the algorithm. We do have the question mark Me Racing suit getting that cheap Island R, which is not bad for him, but I think he's still limited in the number of tracks. I think he's got 12, 3 cities and 9 assumed, so it's okay. I think these Me Racing suits that aren't some kind of metallic base have had a tough time getting the total number of tracks, but I still think he's pretty solid. I've been keeping my eye on him. That's really just about all I wanted to kind of point out for the drivers with 1 buff. What are your thoughts, Antilev?
Yeah, I think the Mario Samurai is actually not a bad buff. I think this Calamari Desert 2 RT, it is a Coinbox track, but I think it's only a Coinbox track when you have Tuxedo at level 8. Otherwise, I think the main player there is Yoshi Kangaroo. So if you don't have Yoshi Kangaroo, which I know a lot of people don't, he could be a decent option there. So I think it's actually like a pretty solid buff for him.
Okay.
The problem is like the value of RTs in general has fallen a lot. Like when we moved over to the new algorithm, I think the value of RT tracks in general in terms of ACR percentage they were like around 16-17% of all appearances. They're now down around like 11% of all returning tracks. Wow. And they're not getting in ranked as much. I mean, it used to be the case that you had RTs in ranked like almost every week, and you know, last tour I don't think we had one RT a city. This tour we don't have any RTs except for the new city. They're losing value, and I think until we get a new trick tour, like items which are RT heavy or getting RT buffs aren't going to see the same kind of value increase that items which will get like regular and RRT buffs will see. That being said, the Donkey Kong Wii Racing suit also got Mario Circuit 2 RT, which was up until now the track which we hadn't seen the longest. I think it was the Paris tour of last summer was the last time we saw it. Again, it's an RT, and we don't see that often, obviously, but it's a nice one. I think it would be a nice one for Giant Banana, so that's like a decent buff. The Cheap Island R buff for Blockhead, that is a Coinbox exclusive. He's the only Coinbox driver on that track. I think he is competing with Chef Rosalina and Yellow Pit Crew Toad as Giant Banana drivers, though. And other than that, you know, like this tour, there are not a lot of retro buffs. Like, we're kind of relieved because we didn't get 36 city tracks, but this is still a typical city tour. There's not that many buffs. There's only 87 total retro buffs between Karts drivers and gliders. So only, you know, and there's a bunch of tracks which got like almost no buffs, which you would expect it to. Like Cheap Lagoon and T got 0 driver buffs, even though we haven't seen them in ages. They just, I don't know, they're keeping them the way they were. It's just not a whole lot of buffs this tour, which we'll see later when we get into the rankings. There's not a lot of movement.
Okay, I did look up Kalimari Desert 2 RT. There are 12 drivers, including Charging Chuck and the Nabbit Racing suit. You got even DK Junior SNES. And also, we talked about Chef Tuxedo Mario and Kangaroo. So, yeah, there's a lot of options included. And this is also the Fire Bro Cup, for what it's worth, if you're doing all cup ranking, which gets the Fire Bro buff there, or, you know, the cup boost. So
cup boost, yeah.
Yeah, so you got plenty of options. I don't think that's a great buff, but we can certainly agree to disagree again, which was totally fine for us to do. We're still friends. All right, we got carts with four buffs, 3 buffs, 2 buffs. You kind of see it top, middle, and the bottom of the screen. For the carts with 4 buffs, we got the Cream Cat Cruiser, which again, you know, I think coming out of that Cat Baby tour right into the city tour and getting so many buffs and during this Metropolitan, you definitely needed some more tracks to be able to get out of that. Thankfully, this one's pretty. Not bad. Coconut Mall and Coconut Mall are pretty strong, you know, paywall tracks. So that was nice for the Cream Cat Cruiser. As for the Sweet Ride, it's number 143 on our list. It's just got a tough start. Kind of similar to what we were talking about with Chef Rosalina. But the Vanilla Lake 1R, Coconut Mall R, and Coconut Mall T. For the carts with 3 buffs, you got the Green Cat Cruiser, Goo Goo Pink, Gold Kitty Karts, and White Fast Frank. None of them really in our top 70. So I think these are all, you know, kind of smaller carts, not necessarily the best start to their career here in the Mario Kart Tour world. But if you really like them, you at least take a look at some of these. It's interesting kind of to see how they've been buffing them. It looks like the Green Cat Cruiser kind of got some Wario Shipyard, Luigi's Mansion, so it's like some darker tracks, and then Goo Goo Pink has some ice tracks. It's and then you have the Gold Kitty Kart getting some underwater tracks. It's interesting, and I'm not sure why they're making those decisions, but at least you can kind of see they're at least sticking with some of those themes. And then there's a number of carts with 2 buffs. I think the biggest one that you're taking note of is the yellow off-roader. Just because to your point, he's already seen just about every track. So you welcome these buffs, and he kind of had the same thing last tour where he just got some nice buffs that were ranked related, and we kind of thought he was done. So nice little job there for our yellow off-roader. Went back up our top 10, which was nice to see. The white turbo Birdo, nice little 2 buffs there. Again, kind of this vanilla lake. We saw a lot of tracks, a lot of carts getting these buffs. And then I don't really want to make note of too much more. The white bruiser does get the Bangkok RT track, which is nice, but I think it's unfortunately got hit with a little bit of what we've been talking about with kind of being a newer item, getting buffed these last couple tours. That's really all I'm going to say about this. The rest are cat or baby items. So what are your thoughts on some of these bigger buffers on this tour?
Yeah, I think the biggest winner here is the Sweet Ride. 2 coconut mall tracks. RMX Vanilla Lake 1R, which is a relatively paywall track, and then the city aside. So I got 4 buffs, but with 2 really quality buffs and then 1 pretty decent one. But again, those Metropolitan Tour items will need a lot of buffs to overcome their difficult start, so we'll see. Yeah, beyond that, White Bruiser, it's one that a lot of people have their eye on, a lot of people have invested in, and it's filling a lot of gaps at the moment. It's on a lot of paywall cards. It got 1 city, and it got RMX Vanilla Lake 1R, which is a relatively difficult track to cover. It's not the newest track, but it's not ancient. It's an okay buff. A White Turbo Birdo got 2 of the RMX Vanilla Lakes. N and T, it looks like that one is definitely going to be an ice-themed card. And then finally, Gold Kitty Kart, 3 buffs, which is you don't expect from a Gold Pass card, but they're all pretty old tracks. Got 2 Cheap Sheep Lagoons, and I got the Mario Circuit 2 RT, none of which is really, I would say, excellent value, but I mean, just in terms of quantity, that's it got 3 retros. That's I think it's pretty good.
Good, man. I like it. Let's talk about the carts that got 1 buff. There's a lot of them here. Jukebox Buggy being really the most notable at number 2 on our list. It's got 5 cities, 25 non-city tracks, which is phenomenal for the Jukebox Buggy. Armored Rider, 19 non-city tracks, 2 cities there. Got the Luigi's Mansion. The other Samurai cart, the Warrior Wagon, up to 16 non-city tracks, 7 cities. Warrior Wagon definitely got the city vibe there, substantially more than the Armored Rider. As you look here, Larry 98 did a wonderful job of showing that the city buffs are in red and the non-city buffs are in black. So we'll probably skim through most of this and just kind of pointing out the ones that are in black here, including the blue-green capsule cart, the Daikon Rocket, getting Luigi's Mansion R and the Mario Circuit 2 RT respectively, and then the Black Turbo Yoshi getting Luigi's Mansion T. And that's all I'm going to mention. It was nice to see the Rose Queen and the Sakura Hop Rod get the nice, the Rose Queen getting a nice buff after a long time being on the shelf, and then the Sakura Hop Rod again, unfortunately, coming out of the city tours and stuff like that, would have been nice to get, but I mean, I'm glad he got 1 buff as compared to 2. That's a card I've obviously favored a lot. Let's get into gliders if you don't mind, just based on time. We got the Candlelight Flight getting 5 buffs. Got Bangkok RT. Again, kind of the same thing we've been talking about. It's number 124 on our list. But getting these Coconut Mall, it needed all these items that came out last tour. They needed Coconut Mall. They needed these brand new items, brand new tracks, and they got a lot of those. So that's wonderful there. Gliders with 4 buffs. So you have the Tulip Corsage getting Luigi's Mansion, Coconut Mall T, and regular Coconut Mall. Number 132 on our list. And then for the Pretzel Gang, we get the Pretzel Glider getting 4 buffs as well, including 3 cities, 3 non-cities there, 2 Luigi's Mansion. And then you have 1 glider that got 3 buffs, which is this Cream Toe Beam Balloons. We got the Coconut Mall R, Coconut Mall T. So really popular trend there. And then gliders with 2 buffs there. Should say 2. Let me go ahead and fix that before I forget. We got Golden Wings. That's the one we noticed pretty quickly was in ranked for Bangkok Rush and Bangkok Rush T. phenomenal there. Luigi's Mustache, Origami Glider, and then Wicked Topaz gets the Calamari Desert 2 RT, which is nice. Library Book walking away with no city buffs. You gotta like that. 3 cities total with 13 assumed, and then Pink Magnifying Glass got one of the 2 cities, or one of the 2 tracks being cities. What are your thoughts on the bigger buff gliders?
Yeah, so like looking at the Metropolitan Tour items, like they all got like 4 buffs plus. Kind of like I think you put them in order of who got the best quality buffs tours. So sorry for the Pretzel fans, it's the loser of the 3 in this tour so far. Candlelight like Cake, that's the obvious winner. It's got 2 coconut malls, which are very valuable, and RMX Vanilla like 1R, which is like decent. And then Tulip Corsage got also 2 coconut malls, and then I got a Luigi's Mansion, which is almost as good. And then finally, like the Pretzel Glider, yeah, it got the Luigi's Mansions, which is a pretty old tracks, and it did get 1 coconut mall. So it looks like they're gonna do what they can to kind of push these. We'll see. I mean, like I will issue judgment on those Metropolitan Tour items 2 tours from now. So let's just wait and see. Yeah, other than that, Luigi's Mustache got 2 Luigi's Mansions. Okay, that's nobody didn't see that coming. Yeah, and like you said before with the other one, Golden Wings got 2 buffs, both cities, but it's basically done. It's seen everything there is to see. So getting 2 cities is not necessarily a bad thing. I think the Wicked Topaz buffs are a little bit of a disappointment. You would have expected that to get a few more tracks. I think one thing that's really interesting about this tour is Cheap Island. We didn't see that one. We saw that one last in the Doctor Tour. Since then, we've had 13 new karts and gliders come out. There are absolutely no buffs for any karts or gliders on Cheap Island in this tour.
Wow.
Any of those 13 items that have come out after the Doctor Tour. I think it's really weird and it's kind of annoying. I mean, this whole tour is really underwhelming with buffs in general. There are only 25 retro buffs for existing gliders, returning gliders in the whole tour, and it's pretty disappointing. Yeah, I mean, other than that, like not a whole lot to talk about. Cream Toby Balloons got pretty good buffs, 2 coconut malls after it got a bunch of cities last tour, and then yeah, last but not least, the Origami Glider continues to get crapped on, and it just gets. It's in the running for one of the worst items of 2022. I'd have to say, right? Yeah, it's really bad. I mean,
man.
We'll see.
Well, so you made a good point though with none of these gliders getting the Cheap Island track, and it is interesting. I think, you know, trying to read the tea leaves, maybe that means we have like a beach tour coming up where maybe they have Cheap Islands coming back with more beach items, and those items getting those buffs and kind of saving.
Summertime.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up on summertime, and maybe we'll see more summertime related items. That makes complete sense. But maybe we have a beach tour. Maybe we have some kind of, who knows, maybe even a city that's a beach city. So I don't know. Keep your eyes out for those beach items. We'll see what happens there. And then there are a number of gliders with 1 buff. Just going to kind of point out the top 10, really top 12 that got these buffs, including the Candlelight Flight, the Sky High Flyer, Record Setter, Glittering Parasol, Pink Gold Meteors, and Wonderful Wings, and 8-Bit Super Mushroom. Those are the top 12 gliders that all got buffs. Of course, all of those are city buffs, so you're using it in ranked, and that's about it. For the gliders outside the top 12 that are non-city buffs, you got the Sakura Origami Glider, got Luigi's Mansion. Not necessarily a great buff there. Cat Parafoil got SNES Mario Circuit 2 RT. Mario Mustache got Mario Circuit 2 RT. And then Magnifying Glass got the Cheap Island Lagoon R. Anything you want to mention about these buffs?
I mean, as you can see, like all the top 10 items only got city buffs. This is a really boring tour for buffs, so there's not a lot to talk about.
All right, let's get into the top 10. I think big change here a couple tours ago. I think based on time, we'll just move forward. But we actually have a pretty steady top 10 across the drivers, karts, and gliders. This one's got a little bit of movement with Yoshi Kangaroo going up 1 spot, flipping with Luigi Vacation. Many of which, you know, you get the boomerang drivers kind of just flipping those spots, but really the main 2 pieces are that Meowser and the Gold Me Racing Suit still in the meta #1 and #2, crushing it, still holding that down, and I think those are really 2 probably the two drivers you want to invest in if you have to. I know in the city tours you may not want to invest in it at all, but these are two strong drivers that I think will hold their value for quite some time. The biggest mover was, as we alluded to earlier, the bronze Me Racing suit, getting those Luigi Mansions. It is up 8 spots. They're to number 9 on our list. Shy Guy Ninja had to go down 1 in order to make room for him. But what I thought was interesting is the Silver Me Racing suit, who was in our top 10. He falls down into number 11. We got King Bob-omb Gold at 12, Mario Saddle of You at 13, and Rosalina Volendam at 14, with Tanuki Rosalina at 15. What are your thoughts on the top 10 drivers?
Yeah, I mean, like obviously the bronze Me Racing suit jumped up. It just goes to show how much of a lack of buffs there are in this tour when getting 2 really old tracks puts him up 8 spots. It's just like the theme of this is just kind of like decay. Like the newer items are getting older. Even if they got a city buff, it's not worth that much. So they're just all like everything is losing value. So even if you even if you got like 1 decent buff, but in the top 10, like there were almost like no non-city buffs. So yeah, that's why it's pretty stagnant, and that's why I keep saying it's like a pretty boring tour of buff. So I don't really have anything to say about it.
Did you say stagnant? Because we have our carts not moving at all, at all. In our top 10, we did have, I think, the Grey Cat Cruiser and the Warrior Wagon flipped number 12 and 13. We had the White Turbo Birdo go into number 14. But other than that, the top 10 did not make any changes. Anything you want to explain as to why nothing moved?
No, again, I mean, like, no, like, okay, so the Armor Rider did get a buff in terms of getting a non-city, and its value did go up, but it was far enough behind the Combo Cruiser that did like jump spots. And the Yellow Off-Roader getting those buffs also got a small bump in value, but again, not enough to take over Tanuki Kart's spot. But I mean, it's just, look at all these items. They weren't on the buff list anywhere. You know, Jukebox Buggy, 1 city. Armor Rider, 1 non-city. Yellow Off-Roader, like a city again. I mean, but the rest of them, like, where are they? They're not getting buffed. So yeah, there's no changes, and none of the lower items got enough to really like leapfrog anything, you know. I'll talk about it a little bit more in risers and fallers, but I mean, this is a tour where even just the most minimal of add or drop in value could change things, and it's just nothing happening here.
Yeah, remember the algorithm really focuses on non-city tracks, so that's going to be a focal point that you see. Yeah. I will say that the top 5 gliders all stuck into their spot and dug in their heels. Yeah, I love seeing the Galaxy Glider up there every week. It's been fun. Then we have some movement, though, in the bottom half of our top 10. The Record Setter going up 1 spot, flipping with the glittering Parasol. You get the 8-bit Bullet Bill going up 2 spots. You have the Pink Gold Meteors up 2 spots as well, with the Wonderful Wings making room for them, going down 1 spot. The Aurora Balloons was the one that made room for some of these gliders as it fell from 8 to 11. You get the 8-bit Super Mushroom at 12. Ship's Wheel fell a little bit to 13. Black Great Sail holding out 14 from last tour, and then the 8-bit Fireflower jumping back into our top 15. Antelab, what are your thoughts on the top 10 gliders?
So every single glider from number 2 to number 15 actually lost value in terms of, so everything is normalized to 100. So Golden Wings is 100 because it's number 1. And its 2 city buffs, it was enough to like make everything in the top 15 else relatively like lose value. It's just some items lost more value than other items.
Wow.
And that's yeah, no, so that's the, again, and gliders, we had the least buffs of any of the categories. You know, so there's more movement like further down the list, but like, you know, right now there's not. This is a pretty much like, we're forgetting, because of last tour being so strange and being 36 cities, that this is like just a pretty standard city tour with not a lot of buffs and not a lot of movements. When we get some new retros coming in, then we'll see a lot more like of a shakeup, I would say.
I agree. I will say with that being said, the Golden Wings, if you haven't already invested in it, it's very strong.
So good. It's so good.
Such a good glider. I heard you know, Sammy was talking about how he hadn't, and he never had a reason, but then Nintendo keeps giving him these city tracks in ranked, where it has it as the top shelf, and not. But you know, when we are looking at not assumed tracks, you know, these are the one times you can use it for ranked, and then it goes back. You got to rely on something else as we get back into normal tours. You kind of alluded to it before, but these are the most top movers and shakers. These items that went up our list the most. Rosalina Chef, obviously with her big buffs, the 5 non-city tracks, she went up from 133 to 100. Cat Luigi went up as well, as you saw with his decent buffs there. He's up 30 spots, but still only at number 64. Nothing else I'm really getting too excited about. There's some Mii Racing suits, but you saw the bronze Mii Racing suit and how it impacted it. It was number 17 before this tour. And then Dry Bones Gold went up 6 spots. That's interesting. Maybe you'll have a comment on that. Number 27.
Yeah, not a really proud moment of me, but I do have an explanation for that. Yes.
Okay. And then we have most improved karts. The biggest change was this Cream Cat Cruiser, which basically cuts its lead nearly in half. It was 105 before, now it's 54. So that's nice. It's interesting. It's only 2 tours old, and it got really bad buffs last tour with getting so many cities. They got the Gold Kitty Kart, up 38 spots to number 84. Sweet Ride, 36 spots, but it was at 179 before. So really tough, very back of the pile there. Green Cat Cruiser went up 31 spots to 71. Goo Goo Pink went up 27 spots to 75. Dragonfly went up 7 spots to 31. And the other one I want to mention is the White Hair Roberto. This one we talked about it in the top 15. It was at number 20 last tour. Purple Bunny. Our Purple Bunny went up 6 spots to number 21 as well. And then for gliders, Candlelight Flight Cake went up 21 spots to 124. The Cream Toe Beam Balloons went up 14 spots to 57. The Tulip Corsage, unfortunately, went from 146 to 132. I always have a hard time not laughing at some of these items that came out last tour, just because they were so far back, including the Pretzel Glider, moving up from 149 to 137. Luigi's Mustache did go up 8 spots to 16, so that's a substantial jump from 24 to 16. That's really all I'm going to mention about that. But what are your thoughts on the movers and shakers, Angela?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, like, the items that jump the most are the ones that got the non-city buffs this tour. So, I mean, that's, I think, pretty self-explanatory. I think that there's some other ones where you may, like, okay, why did Purple Bunny jump up 6 spots? The reason is Purple Bunny is on Sunset Wild's T. It's in ranked next week, and so the value of its coverage on Sunset Wild T went up by like a factor of, I don't know, 25%, but that was enough to bring it up 6 spots just because there's not a lot of movement. It's the same thing for Peach Vacation. She's in ranked this week in Cheap Cheap Lagoon R, and just the value of Cheap Cheap Lagoon R being in rank this week gives her a boost from up 7 spots. That's just how little is going on this week. Drapone Golds is a bit of a different situation because nothing is really going on with him, but there was a mistake in the model where he didn't get credit for having RMX Ghost Valley 1R as an exclusive track previously. I corrected that mistake, and you know, there's a 50% bonus for track value for being a Coinbox or Plus Skill exclusive on a given track, and so that was enough to boost him 6 spots as well. So it's not that he's boosted, but it just, he was incorrectly, you know, he gets enough crap from me and everybody else in the community. He doesn't need more. I think a couple of interesting things. Firefly, Coconut One, Daisy Farmer, they all got buffed, but they got buffed with one city. They all fell significantly. Daisy Farmer fell 10 spots, Coconut One fell 13 spots, and what was the last one? Firefly, that fell 18 spots. Even though those are newer items, because they're aging, they're getting older, and because they're seeing like a bunch of retros which they didn't see, their assumed future buffs are going down, so even getting a city buff was not enough to keep them from like falling in value. And there's actually, if you check out the top 10 rankings and you look at the spreadsheet, you look at the fallers, there's actually quite a lot of newer items on the fallers list, and that is due to this aging, that we take points away for items getting older, and we take points away for items having seen more tracks. I thought that was really interesting in this tour, just because of the lack of buffs.
Yeah, again, this is a normal city tour. Last city tour was a abnormal city tour. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, when we have these city tours, we always see kind of a little different experience there. Now for the All Cup ranking MVPs, thankfully MKD Ben has done some of this, and shout out to also Larry98 who put this piece together. This gives you a little different look, and I think Larry98 will be releasing his spreadsheet, which was replicating a lot of what Tabor was doing here shortly. But Daisy Tie Dress used 14 times in All Cup ranking, so there's only 36 tracks. It's used 14 times of those. So I've already seen a couple. I know Hickarun is in a lot of people's ranked. He already took up Daisy Tie Dress to 1400, and all of the items, the Tuk Tuk Cart and the red and gold umbrella, those last two being used 12 times. So that's a great way for someone. I will say city tours like this are actually really good to go for top 100, top 1000, top 10 if you need to. Just it's a little hard. I think people are a little bit more restrictive with their tickets and wanting to invest in buffs around cities. So if you do want to kind of zig while everyone else is zagging, that's an opportunity for you. Luigi Vacation though is used 11 times. That is if you have a level 8. Get the Chain Jump used 9 times. Silver Me Racing Suit 8 times. Captain Toad and Daisy Swimwear 8 times as well. Peach Explorer 7, Yoshi Kangaroo 7, Charging Chuck 7, Luigi Painter, and Penguin Toadette 7 times. As for the carts, you got the Tuk Tuk Cart used 12 times, Gold Zucchini 11 times, Tropical Truck 10, Combo Cruiser 8, Painster 8, Yellow Off-Roader 8, which is really nice there. The Yellow Off-Roader used 8 times is phenomenal for those who have been following the meta. Dragonfly, Green Lightning, Jukebox Buggy, and Sky Blue 8, B-Dasher Mark 8, Mark 2. All those used 7 times. But you can see here which ones are unlocked at certain levels. And so you can see maybe it makes sense for me to unlock it at a different level if you want to go for All Cup ranking. And then for the gliders, you got the Red and Gold Umbrella 12 times, Polka Dot Mana Glider 10 times, Luigi Parafoil 9, Star Great Sail 9 as well, Penguin Wingtip 8, Silver Surf Master 8, Galaxy Glider, Golden Wings, Manta Glider, Pink Gold Meteors, and Sky High Flyer all used 7 times. And when you see the Galaxy Glider, you see the Golden Wings, you see the Manta Glider. These are ones you might have at a high level, so to use that 7 or 8 times, that's wonderful. Good, anything you want to say about the All Cup ranking MVPs?
No, definitely. I mean, it's on the one hand, it's like you said, it's a decent tour to go for ACR, but it's also going to be a tough one because it's a new Coinbox driver, so it's going to be more competitive. Anytime there's a new plus skill driver, ACR gets harder because you can invest in that without like worrying, oh, I'm going to mess up my account. You know, it's different when the new driver has got like, you know, Gigabomb or, you know, triple green shells or something.
Yeah.
So it's good to go for ACR in this tour because you're investing in a new Coinbox driver, but it is going to be competitive, I would say.
Very competitive. Sure, absolutely. Here's some ranked options, both of what's unlocked and what's used multiple times. So that's a little different view, but shout out to Larry90. I actually I did the slides this time and ran out of time, so I just did a little screenshot version. But yeah, week 1, Daisy Cup. We got the red and gold umbrella, and then for the Cheap Lagoon R, you have a lot of options. I'm not going to go through all of them. You probably are pretty well covered there. Bangkok Rush RT, there's nothing unlocked at all. For the Monty Mole Cup, you have for week 2, you have the Tuk Tuk Cart level 6. A lot of options on Sunset Wilds T. You might just want to go out to Reddit and take a look at this slide. There's a lot of options here. Then for Bangkok Rush T, you have the Daisy Tie Dress, which you can use her if you unlock her at level 6. And then for multiple use ranked items, you have Daisy Tie Dress, used 5 times out of the 6 tracks.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It's very rare that we see that. Captain Toad being the next, and we talked about him being in a pack. He's used 3 times, including 1 level 8 unlock. So if you're not willing to take him to level 8, that is a nice. You're probably only using him twice. The other one, the Me Racing Suit and the Gold Yoshi Egg, probably the 2 that are most notable. Those are ones that kind of follow that meta. And for the carts used multiple times, you have the Tuk Tuk Cart used 4 times. Huge there. None are used 3, and then you have a couple options that are used twice, including the Yellow Off-Roader. That's kind of the meta cart there. And then for the gliders, this red and gold umbrella Use 4 times. Massive there. But one of those is a level 6 unlocked. And then you have the gold crane. Use 2 times. The golden wings and the origami glider used 2 times. I know you didn't like the origami glider, but it is used twice in ranked. I think the golden wings are going to be probably the most one of the most commonly used 4 times.
I don't know, gold crane, golden wings, or origami glider. Which one am I going to put tickets on?
I think you're probably going to do the golden wings if you haven't already. Anything you want to mention about the ranked options?
No, I think it's crazy that we have a driver who's in ranked 5 times, but I mean, because it's a city tour, so strange things happen.
Cool, man. Well, that's all we got. Thank you so much for joining me, Antilev. This was a fun episode. Again, you know, not a lot to talk about when it comes to the buffs, and because we got a lot of city buffs, but ultimately we had a lot of shit to talk about when it came to the pipes and the special gold pipe, and we have a gold Coinbox driver. So it's interesting to kind of talk about how that's impacting the meta strategy. So appreciate you doing that. If you haven't already liked or subscribed to the video, we just appreciate just clicking a little like, leaving even a comment, that would help out as well. But thank you, Antilev, for joining us. We got Kart Talk coming up here soon, but left a little members video here, just doing my token pulls. So excited to be with you guys, but thank you for joining us for the last hour and a half, and enjoy the rest of Bangkok. See you guys.